I kept saying in my head, please stop now, please.
I ran outside but was unable to stay standing up because the ground was shaking so much. I got down on my hands and knees and waited for it to pass.
This earthquake was extremely long, so I thought a tsunami would come.
We wake up and see the sea. We talk about the sea, if it's quiet or if it has waves, as we've always done together. When you live by the sea, you depend on it, and it's part of your life.
Here, we base our livelihood on deep-sea fishing and running fish farms. We've been doing it for a long time. Like now, it's the season for bonito and samma. We've been blessed with good catches for so long. My house was located just in front of the sea. I lived there for 40 years. The sea was like our great mother. It was like our treasure. We have always received blessings from the sea. The Chile earthquake happened the year before I was born. My father decided they should evacuate. While they were evacuating, they got overtaken by the tsunami, and I lost my older sister. She was 9. My sister died. My mother had given birth to her relatively late in life, but she said she wanted one more child. So the next year, I was born. My whole life I've been told I was born because my sister died in a tsunami.
When the earthquake hit, I had left my house and was driving. So I wasn't sure if it was an earthquake or just a car. But when I saw the way people were moving and the building shaking, I knew it was an earthquake.
All of a sudden, the room started shaking. I grabbed my computer so it wouldn't fall and waited for the shaking to stop. I thought for sure a tsunami was going to come. I started yelling at people in the office to run to safety as soon as possible.
It was just an instantaneous decision I made to get the camera. I filmed inside the office, but because the shaking continued, I decided to go out and film there. When I got out of the office, I went to a nearby convenience store to film the damage that had been done there. Because the shaking was still strong inside the shop, there were things falling all over the floor.
I started filming on my iPhone at 2:49 p.m. and by 2:55, I was on top of the hill, so it only took a few minutes. When I got up there, the town didn't look any different than usual. It just looked like a normal, quiet town. Then at 3:19 p.m., something quite out of the ordinary happened.
I did look at the information being relayed to my car navigation system. But, well, I'm originally from an inland area, so I didn't have the common sense that there's a danger of a tsunami after an earthquake happens. It did look normal. What's it called? Mob psychology? There were lots of people there, so it seemed like a safe place. It didn't seem like a tsunami was going to hit. I don't think anyone knew.
While I was filming, I still didn't think about the tsunami. A fire truck was driving around the area, telling people to evacuate. The local people began to head for higher ground.
At that time, the first thing the local people did after the earthquake was leave their houses. The nearest place to evacuate is that hill over there. Okay then, let's go. That's the kind of thing I heard. The people who had made it to the top of the hill were looking out towards the sea, pointing at the ocean and asking, "Is that a tsunami?" They were urging people below to hurry up and evacuate to the hill as fast as possible.
When I was in my car, there were a lot of people still walking. I opened the window and yelled that there was a tsunami coming.
川を見たらもうすぐそばまで来てたので。
When I looked at the river, the water rose up so fast. It was like it was next to me. It all happened so quickly.
川とその川の逆流。
The river flowing backwards, and the tsunami overflowing into the city.
海から直接来るのが街の中で交錯して。
From the point where I saw the tsunami myself to the point where I got to the top and looked down at the town, it was completely different. There was so much water, it felt like it all happened in an instant. The sound of buildings crashing against each other, the sound of wooden structures crunching. There's just no way to say it. It's difficult to comprehend as a reality. Was it fear? It was like a film.
本当に1時間とかその当時発生前までは
The people who had been calmly working just an hour earlier,
その場そこで生
the
活
people who lived here,
ことにがもう
in just seconds,
一瞬
all of that was gone.
全く違う姿に変わっていくっていうことに。
現在、大津波警報が発令中です。沿岸住民は直ちに高台。
徐々に水が。
Then the water started rising, but I still thought it would be okay because of the levee. But as time passed, the water rose above the levee. I saw what happened during the Chile earthquake, and all I could do is flash back to those images. I knew this was going to be bad. I don't really remember the sounds as the water rose up, but I remember thinking how much I wish it would stop. There's nothing you could do but pray to God. We couldn't do anything in the face of such immense power. There was nothing to do but yell and scream. We couldn't contain ourselves. Then I saw people in cars trying to reverse away and getting washed down the street by the water. I saw terrible things like that. I knew it was going to get worse. As the water got higher, houses and people just got swept up and washed away. It was incredibly sad.
I was worried about my home, so I watched from some stone stairs nearby. It was strange. When I looked towards the sea, I couldn't see the shape of the waves. As the houses and buildings were being destroyed, dust flew in the air. All you could see is dust. It wasn't that I wanted to shoot a video, rather that I wanted to record the events. I never thought the tsunami would come to this point. Then I saw my house and car washed away. The neighborhood was rapidly engulfed. I couldn't believe it. It had only been 3 years since I finally managed to build my own home. It was surreal.
Everything we had built just got washed away. Just looking at that was frightening. It's hard to describe the fear I felt. I just don't know how to say it.
I had never experienced this kind of shock. I don't know what to say. It's hard to describe, really.
Even though we saw the car passing by to warn us, we didn't think the tsunami would actually reach us because we lived quite far from the ocean and we were on a hill.
I already knew that huge earthquakes could cause a tsunami, so I knew I had to evacuate as soon as possible. As I was going up the stairs that led to the high school, I saw some people filming. They said they could see the tsunami from there. Then I saw a dust cloud, which meant that houses were being destroyed by the tsunami. I knew a lot of damage was being done, and I tried to capture the series of events.
Because my family has a particular connection to tsunami, when this tsunami came, I decided I wanted to record it for posterity. So I climbed the stairs halfway up the building and started taking photos. All this I saw through the viewfinder. When I looked at the train station, there were buildings just flowing over the top of it. Where would it stop? I still had it in my head that my house would survive, but it just kept pouring in. Is it still coming?
When I looked, water and debris were flowing over the tracks and through the station. I hurried in through the back door and went to get my daughter. I yelled at her, "We have to run!"
周りの人たちも被害の大きさに本当に
Most people were so shocked and speechless, while others were becoming hysterical, as their family members hadn't come out of their houses when the tsunami hit.
そうした状態でした。ただ
The first thing that got sucked up was my shed. I thought, it's just a shed, oh well. At least the house is okay. And just as I thought that, the house went with it. The things I was seeing were completely unimaginable.
When we started running, we assumed that we would be able to outrun it. But what happened was that the wave completely swallowed us up. I was desperate. Fortunately for me, soon after I was swallowed by the wave, a roof drifted towards me and went under my body, as if it was trying to pick me up. So I was on top of the roof, and the wave took me all the way to the high school. People who were by the school saw me and pulled me down.
I thought she really just barely escaped.
Most of the residents were already at the emergency evacuation centers. I was on the fire truck and was directing people over the loudspeaker. After a while, I drove towards the levee and checked the water level from the top of the floodgate. When I got to the top of the levee, I saw the water had already receded a lot. From there, I called out for people to run away. Once the waves hit the bottom part of the levee, the water shot up the side very suddenly. I probably only had 5 seconds or so to get away. If I got on the truck 20 seconds later, I don't think I'd be here today. I knew my duty was to direct people to evacuate, but I didn't turn off the camera.
その辺今から考えると
I'm actually not really sure why I kept filming.
いたのかっていうのは自分自身、明確な答えは見出せないと言います。
逃げんな堤防越えからダメ堤防越えから堤防越えてきたから堤防越えた
で堤防がとりあえず5メートルぐらいの
We had a levee that was 5 meters tall that we thought could protect against a tsunami. We based all our evacuation areas and exercises on this assumption.
ただいま大津波警報が発表されております。松原市のおよび気仙川において
消防団としてあるいは一人の
As a firefighter, as the father of a child, I can never forgive the fact that I let children die. I let elderly die. I can never forget.
自分の中でも
すごいダメだ電線が危ねえ早く
地震の直後にはもう津波
We knew a tsunami was coming. We could feel it.
感じていました。ですんで
It suddenly got really silent.
急にこうなんかじわっときましてね
It's hard to imagine such a sudden silence.
こう静かになるっていう
It was like all sound had disappeared.
そんなこう不気味さを
I remember how ominous it was.
It seemed like my husband knew the tsunami was coming after the earthquake. After the Chile earthquake, the tsunami was only 1 meter tall. I think he thought the tsunami this time would be the same or a bit higher. So he was interested in filming. He likes to shoot video and carries his camera all the time.
その川の学校のそばに我々の
There was a river nearby, the Okawa River.
川があるわけです。でここも
It's normally very calm and doesn't change much.
そんなに変化のない川なんですけども
When we saw it then, you could see the riverbed and the water was pulling back.
見えてきたと。
大津波警報が出されております。
で消防の方でしょうかね。
A fire truck came around, and I heard them yelling at people to evacuate.
避難するようにというこの声が入ってたのと。
地震から40分ぐらいですかね。津波が来た。
The tsunami came about 40 minutes after the earthquake.
市場の方ぐるっと。
So I went around the fish market towards the riverbank and started filming on my mobile phone.
で携帯で撮ってました。川の
The levee was about 3 meters high.
3メーター近くあると
I didn't think the tsunami would ever be big enough to come over that.
思わないから
So I kept filming.
普通に撮ってたんだよね。
これほどまで大きくなる津波だと思う。
I didn't think it was going to be such a big tsunami.
今度それが大川の
On the Okawa River, there were small pleasure boats that were moored.
その船が係留されてはいたんですね。
The boats got pushed along
押しながら
and made a crunching sound when they collided with each other.
そして来た来たって言ってるうちに国道をトラックが2台
When we saw the water approaching, it flooded the national road as 2 trucks were passing. Then the water just kept coming.
それがどんどんどんどん押し寄せてきて、
その時は
When I saw overturned boats coming towards me,
ひっくり返って流れてきた時
I knew something wasn't right.
あ、ちょっとやばいかなと。あと、まあ
Everyone around was yelling, "Hurry up, hurry up, run!"
もうおじさんですか？本当？あ、いやいや、来る。
I thought that we were in danger.
ほら体が今度一番
So I shouted to my husband, "You have to come to higher ground."
高いところに。そのうち
I saw electric wires being cut and falling down.
これでは大変。
It was scary, and I shouted that everyone needed to come higher.
カメラを構えましてね。
I was running with the camera and looking back,
後ろ向きに
running backwards and filming while I evacuated.
ながらこう来たんですよ。それでちょうどその
I was heading to the emergency staircase at the school.
その非常階段をめがけてかさ上げするこう堤防っていうんですよかね、水かさをこう食い止めるような。
It was right near the river, and I went and looked over, and I could see the water rising up over the bank.
あと
I thought I might be in trouble here when the wave came over the levee.
その瞬間
Still, I wasn't too worried because I
まだ
thought
安心してたね。
it was only a little bit of water.
超えるぐらいかなと。
But I was wrong,
ところがとんでもなかった。
since quite a lot of water suddenly gushed over.
まあこれは大変
I
なこと
thought,
になって
this is pretty bad,
どうすることも
but there's nothing I could do about it. I was amazed and scared by the force of nature.
すごいなと思ったね。まあ自転車でちょ
I was on my bike
っと逃げて。
and I was heading towards the nearby high school.
で逃げるだけじゃなくて、それ
You weren't just running, you were running for your life.
津波が押し寄せております。早く高い場所に上がって
ちょうどそれが溢れそうになる一歩手前で、
Just as it spilled over, I began climbing the staircase.
私も
I kept climbing while filming behind me.
後ろにこう向きながら逃げていったんで、ですからあっという間ってことが間違い
It happened so quickly. If I'd gone any slower, I don't think I would have made it.
まあ思い出しますね。もうその時はもう
There was too much water,
校舎の方に歩いていけないから
and I couldn't get to the school buildings.
しょうがないから
So I just climbed up a tree.
ああ、何逃げてんの今頃。バカだな。何やってんだよ、こいつ早く逃げろでも。バカだな、何やってんのよ。危ねえよ。おこだ。逃げろ。バカ何やってんのよ。すげえ。すげえ子だ。すごいすごいすごいすごい。車。バカだな。バカどころ。何やってんだ。何やってんの、バカだ。あらららら、すげえな。バカ。バカ。
学校から見えるその風景っていうのが、まあ、自分たちが住んで
Watching from the school, you could see our homes in the distance, disappearing under the
遠くの
waves.
方から見ます、遠くの方見ますと、なんかこうそこがなくなってるっていうのが見えたわけなんですよ。で、水かさも
As it rose higher, you could see people who weren't able to escape. You could see cars just get completely swallowed up by the waves. We were really afraid that the school would get washed away too.
という危険はすごく持ってました。で、上からただ見てるだけですから、で、誰もそういう
All we could do was watch.
なくなりましたね。
We were just shocked,
ショックで
speechless. It felt like the end.
ないんですよね。みんな状況同じだっていうことなんで、まあ、
We had lost everything.
ああ終わりだなっていう、もうため息をついたような感じ、肩を落としたっていう。
なんなのこいつ、来る。何これ。
I felt the terrible power of nature. I was not expecting that nature could be this dreadful and that it could change so much. Normally, even the sea can get rough sometimes, like during storms, but we never had such damage, houses being destroyed. We could not do anything this time. All we could do was watch what was happening. It was so horrible. I don't know what to say.
Everyone was looking in the direction of the heli-pier and screaming. For a second, I had forgotten that I had my camera with me, but I quickly remembered. I used the zoom function to see what people were looking at and saw waves of water. I knew straight away that it was a tsunami.
津波っていうか水しぶきがバーッて上がってて、ああ津波だっていう風になって。俺が見たものは車の塊がもう。
I saw piles of cars being swallowed by the muddy water and coming towards us very quickly. It happened really fast. To be honest, I didn't expect the water to come all the way to where I was. There were many buildings between where the cars were and me, so I thought it would stop.
建物は結構建ってたし、想像してたものと比べるっていうよりはもう本当何も想像。
It had never occurred to me that the tsunami would reach us. It looked surreal. It was like watching a film. I honestly couldn't believe it.
心境ですね。はい。
で、比較的大きい道路で街中でしたので。
It was a big road in the middle of town. You would never have realized it was actually a coastal area. You could say I was naive, but even just before it hit, there were police out directing traffic.
I could see the tsunami coming towards those cars stuck in traffic. I was really worried about them. But there was nothing I could do. Some people were screaming as loud as they could to warn the people in the cars down below. But they couldn't have heard them when I think about it now.
The first time I realized a tsunami was going to hit was when I actually saw it myself. I looked in my rearview mirror and saw an even larger wave than the one in front of me. I didn't know what to do. People were running out of their cars. I suppose that's about it. I think everyone was really panicking. It was incredibly quick. It probably took only 10 or 20 seconds from the moment when the water hit my car to the car being washed away. There's video of a woman being washed away right before my eyes. At that time, I thought I was going to die. It was kind of strange, but I didn't really feel panicky myself. I was quite calm. I thought, that's how things go, so I might as well do as much as I can. I decided just to sit inside and wait. I figured that even if my car got swept up by the tsunami, it might land in some place and I might be able to float to safety.
I saw many cars being swallowed by the water and swept away. But there wasn't anything we could do. We even talked amongst ourselves if there was a way to help, but nothing could be done.
I had it in my mind that I'd use the car to protect me as long as possible. The car would float to somewhere safe. Or, if that was impossible, when the opportunity came, I'd jump out and float to safety. I figured I'd have to swim for it. I remember it being completely dark and the water pouring in. And then I escaped from the car. But underwater, I couldn't figure out which way was up. It was probably just a minute, but I swam around there in the water and I thought I was going to die. Finally, my face hit the surface and I could breathe.
I ran because I wanted to live, of course. My cousin had a son who was a town council member, and unfortunately he lost his life in the town hall. It's so difficult to see them mourn, and I almost feel sorry that I lived while their son died.
It felt like we were left with nothing and simply just powerless. That's the feelings I had in my chest. Right around 6 p.m., it started to snow. It was too cold to be outside. We had all gone back inside to the classrooms to warm up. Right around that time, we could see fire. It looked like all of Tsunami was drenched in flames. Even from the top of the school, it seemed like we were right in front of it. It was like being in hell. We thought any people who had survived the tsunami would surely be killed by the flames instead. We thought it was the end of Tsunami.
There were over 40 people from our neighborhood that lost their lives. It was also very hard to see women who had lost their children. They knew that their children were gone, but many just couldn't let go of hope that they were hiding somewhere in the mountains or another safe place. They spent their nights staying up waiting for their children to come back. That was really the toughest thing to watch.
Cars had rolled onto their sides and on top of buildings. There was an incredible amount of rubble, and it was difficult to tell what kind of buildings they were from. Mountains of debris that were far taller than me. In places far from the sea, there were fish that had been washed up from fish farms and such. The area was just scattered with things that didn't belong there. That's when I first understood the damage a tsunami could cause. I could hardly believe it. I had never felt such hatred towards the sea. I saw later that there were 3 dead bodies where my house used to be. I knew all 3 of them. One was a firefighter. I thought this was some kind of sign, and that after everything was cleaned up, I should hold a mass for them. There were about 40 emergency evacuation centers that got washed away. These evacuation centers were designated 50 years ago, when people assumed a tsunami on the scale of the one from the Chile earthquake would come. The tsunami this time was much larger than anyone expected. People probably thought they were safe there, but instead, they died. So when I think about people who have lost their family or loved ones in the evacuation centers, I feel extreme sorrow.
The damage this time was really immense, but we have to stand back up and stand taller than we did before. We should be mentally prepared for that, living where we do. Building houses, building factories, everyone knows doing this puts us at risk. A disaster is going to come, but when it does come, we have to rebuild. I feel very strongly about that.
We have nothing now. We receive relief supplies, but I don't have a sense of value for the things I really need. I do remember that I used to have this and that. But right now, I don't think about specific items I want. I just think about things I need day by day.
Tsunami 来てます! Tsunami 来てます!
Humans are strong. The instinct to live is strong. I think the city will undoubtedly recover. The shopping streets, the jobs people had, everyone is doing their best daily to ensure this happens. No one knows how long it will take, but I have no doubt that it will be an even better town than it was before.
I
don't know what's going to happen to our town. We don't have a lot of land in Sanriku. And people are always moving away to nearby towns. So, that means young people are leaving our town as well. Can we really rebuild with only elderly people? It's difficult to imagine.
People are asking, so what happens now? People have some belongings now, things they've received from others, but there are still questions about work or how long we can all live in this temporary housing. When we leave the housing, what kind of lifestyle will we end up living?
I have no home and I'm almost 70 years old. I don't have any savings, and it's difficult to think about what I'll do from here. It's something I worry about every day. I think everyone who lost their homes feels the same way.
They say a place like Tsunami will take at least 10 years to recover.
Most of the people of Tsunami make their living through fishing. Their factories have been washed away, and only a few have been restored. It will take many years for all of them to be rebuilt.
They say that the elderly speak of the past, and youth speak of the future. That's what we have to embrace. Older people are always going on about the way things were, but we have to think about how to build a new Tsunami. We have to focus on the new. Only a few days ago, I had a dream. It wasn't about the tsunami, but about a flood that reached up into the mountains. I was trying to run away from the water by going up stone stairs and climbing trees. In the dream, it's only me running. I left everyone behind and was only evacuating myself. I think, from now on, I must live having the weight of those lives on my shoulders. I have responsibility for that, and responsibility to build a new town here. Volunteers are helping us with the clearing up. But there's yet to be any kind of support or care for people's mental health. Amongst the people I know, there are probably a dozen or so experiencing trauma. This is where I was born and raised. When I go up to the mountains, I realize they don't suit me. Tsunami is where I can see the Pacific. It's between the mountains and the sea. Yes, I'd really like to stay here. The sea is beautiful, but still scary. I don't know how much time I need till I don't feel scared. Seeing the things I saw during the disaster, I can't help it. But I know it's nonsense to hold a grudge against the sea.
Our town was covered with water and completely swallowed by the powerful tsunami. I honestly couldn't comprehend what it was. Was it retribution? Because God was angry at us for being too happy? In my mind, I kept trying to make sense of what happened.
My feelings about the sea haven't changed, and I think it's normally a very kind thing. It helps us, and it has helped us for years. I don't feel like I despise it. From this disaster, I think, perhaps it's us who made a mistake, living in an area vulnerable to tsunami. But at the same time, we need to think of ways to prevent this kind of thing. from happening again.
そんなふうに思っています。
I can never forget about the fear of the tsunami, but I like the sea. That hasn't changed.
お願いしてね。
Our boat was washed away, but we are going to buy a new one.
するように予約してあるんですよ。
So we'll keep our relationship with the sea.
We must keep the relationship. I think there's no other way.
Ще се случи, от теб зависи, дори не знаеш как. Има едно на ум, какво ще направиш, от теб зависи, дори не знаеш как. Има едно на ум. Не забелязваме, че нощите преливат цели отстрани. Следим се отдалеч, надежда да се срещнем с очи. Може би няма начин да спрем нашето си момент.